Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to do a little bit of a mishmash of things. We're going to do a little knitting update. I'm trying not to lose the needles. A little bit of a knitting update, and we're going to put the lane pants pattern together. We're going to tape it together and probably decide on the size that I need. We'll see. And I have something that I've been putting together that I think is going to be something that you're really going to like, but that I know I really like, that I thought I'd show you, that's helping me keep track of my projects and what I've done and what I want to do, because I've had kind of a non-system chaos, and I don't necessarily need to be the most organized when it comes to my my sewing and my knitting and all of that, but I do need a little bit of some place to store some information, so I know where I've stopped a project and where to pick up if I haven't worked on it in a while. So I thought I'd talk to you about that while we put the lane pants pattern together, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do in next week's video, and I'm really excited to share that too. So let's do a little bit of knitting. Okay, so I just realized that I told you I was going to give you a knitting update, and then I proceeded to knit without giving you an update. So, right now, let me pull these so they don't fall off. I am on sleeve number 1 of this sweater. So, it's at this moment that my microphone died, so I'm going to tell you what I was describing here. I am on the first sweater, and I have to get 10 centimeters down the sleeve before I start doing the increases. So I'm going to pick up the thing I use for seam gauges, and I thought that I was at the point where I needed to do the decreases, and I wasn't. So I needed to do a few more rows before I started the decreases. And that's where I'm at in my sweater right now. While I am putting together the lane pants pattern, I thought we could talk about the cool little resource that I built, or in the process of building and finishing up. So one of my biggest fights when I'm making things is, well, I guess multiple things, is one, remembering where I left off the next time I pick it up, because sometimes you put a project down and it's a couple of weeks before you pick it up again. That's just a reality. And I needed something, and like knitting, that one sweater I've been working on since February 2025. You just need some place to keep track of things. And paper notes, the notes app on my phone, hope and a prayer, that my brain will remember, those work, but they're not great. They're not a home base for all that kind of stuff. And for knitting, I could use Ravelry, but I also sew, and I also quilt. And so there's limitations to what I can use Ravelry for, and that includes including all of my hobbies. So I have been kind of on a quest of sorts to find a way to keep all those things organized. I wanted a place to keep track of my projects, so I knew what was next, so I knew what was, what I was planning, so I didn't plan too many projects, plan to work on too many projects at a time. And typically I'm only working on one, sewing one piece of clothing, or knitting one thing, or quilting one thing at a time. So I never have more than 3 to maybe 5 max projects at a time, or else I get overwhelmed. But for people who have lots of projects going on at a time, I can't even imagine how hard it is to keep track of everything and like what you have and what you're working on, what you're not working on, what you're paused on, what you're not going to finish, those kinds of things. So I knew I needed to keep track of things. And ideally, I also wanted to be able to organize my digital patterns because I've downloaded a lot of free ones from Mood. I've purchased a few and I realized that like I just like have them on in a folder on my desktop on my computer, and like that's fine, but there's got to be a better way to keep those things organized. And then I've also purchased like various, learning resources or things like that, or even just like if I find a good YouTube video for how to do a certain part of a project. So say I found a video for like doing the make one right, make one left increases for knitting, and I really liked that video, but every time I go to do that skill again, I'm like looking for it because I can't remember which way it needs to go on the needle. So I wanted a place to put like those kinds of things as well. So I have been working in Notion, which is a really cool, super customizable tool if you've never used it before. I know it's super common in the business world, but I'm never sure how many people, know what it is. But if you've ever worked with a spreadsheet before in your life, you can use Notion. It's really easy. So I built out a resource in there, and I'm like 80%, I'm like 95% done with it. And I just started really putting it to the test with all of my projects in the last couple weeks. And so I'm finding out ways to make it better already. And I gave it like a super cute cottagecore vibe. And it's really fun to use. It's keeping track of things better than my brain ever could. And I'm hoping to have it done and available to you guys by May 1st, maybe earlier, but May 1st at the latest. I'm going to be talking about it a lot more over the next week or two, but I'm really excited about it. It's such a cool system, even if you're like a little bit allergic to systems. So if you want to know when that's out and available, I have a waitlist link in the description. No pressure, but if you want to know when it's available, the waitlist link is down there if you would like it. So let's get this pattern finished, put together. As I finish up putting this pattern together, I thought I would tell you what we're doing next week. Next week, in next week's video, this week, I am challenging myself to finish the sweater. I am only like a third of the way down the first sleeve. The whole body is done, but I'm only a third of the way down the first sleeve, and I need to do the whole second sleeve. But after getting the yarn delivery, I'm like itching to start a new project. But if I start a new project, then I'll only work on that, and then I'll have a pile of unfinished projects. That's not the move for me. So I'm challenging myself to finish the sweater next week. So I will see you next week for a little finish the sweater challenge. Bye.